Part 2. So now he's going to really go into the rehypothecation of gold and assets and everything else and what that means for double counting and why things need to be on fucking chain. So I'm going to stop him again and, fill in the blanks.
The situation with the economy is really dire. That hasn't gone away. What we have is one of the best mechanics who have hired the rest of the best mechanics to come in, put up the hood, and say, we want to save this engine. How do we do it?
the engine's been blown. The engine's blown. So you need a new one to save the car, okay? And the car is the country itself. And the engine is the, dollar leverage system that's been powering this whole thing that everybody else is abandoning. It blew a fucking cylinder, all right? And it's precisely got kicked off because we kicked Russia out of the SWIFT system, like I keep fucking harping on. But now he's going to really start talking about the rehypothecation. And, the best mechanics, I mean, he has Brad with him. Elon understands the movement of money. He was part of the PayPal mafia, okay? They're cutting all of this government waste, fraud, and abuse because the scam's up. You have to cut it in order to restore trust in the system to keep it alive. Or to restore trust into the car itself, the brand, the manufacturer, but you have to swap out the fucking engine.
And they're applying that. We don't know what direction, but a huge sign that something big is coming is the amount of gold that is being purchased. And the key here that you have to understand, shortages in London, gold flowing into the U.S. at record levels. Somebody with deep pockets, this is what Matt Smith is scooping up gold. They're reshoring gold that might have been leased out. What does that mean? That the United States is buying all this gold. Why? Because they're reshoring the gold that might have been leased out. That's rehypothecation. That's just the word away from the word that I said. If you see rehypothecation begin to be bantered around, look out. What rehypothecation is we've taken one asset and we've counted it on several different accounting books. So we counted it the United States, but also we've leased this gold out to Germany, so Germany could get more money based on their gold. But their gold is our gold, and our gold is England's gold. So that's how...
It's double counting. It's double counting on your ledgers. This is why tokenization is so important, and why it is the final key in this tumbler, this lock, so we know who's got what at the end of the day in order to back their currency, in order to back the financial system. And that effort is underway right now. They probably had to do that extension on FedNow, in order for the Fed to protect themselves, but also for the tokenization to really come into effect, and for all the gold to come back onto the United States shore in order for us to, put a QR stamp into the actual the gold bar itself, so we can create the digital token, so then we can actually trade on it all throughout the world. But at the end of the day, everyone knows, if you check the tape, whose gold it actually is, because it's all on chain.
How dire this is we're beginning to enter the world of rehypothecation, which means no one owns anything. Because your house, you say, well, I got my loan through Citibank. But Citibank has used rehypothecation to put that on their balance sheet as that's their house, but they sold it in a package to 8 different banks, and they're all counting that house, yours, as an asset. So when they all start to go down, they all say, well, we've got all of these assets. Well, no, you don't. Which one of you has the 100%? You're all claiming 100% of, Bob Smith's house. Which one actually has it? Well, they all do. This is such a Ponzi scheme where, what this is? This is a story of the producers.
And it's everywhere. It's every fucking asset. It's everything. Tokenization is the key. It is the absolute key. So whoever's leading that, if it's Hedera, get off your ass, man. Get off your ass and start explaining how tokenizing anything correlates to the rise in price of H bar, because this is how we need to have everything on chain. From government spending to whatever assets that a bank is using to justify their balance sheet. You pay your mortgage every month. At the end of the day, like, who are you actually paying? Is it Bank of America that you got your loan from? Well, if they rehypothecized it and you take them to court and they try and figure out, who actually owns your fucking title, it's going to be tough to prove that if it's all rehypothecated. So who are you actually paying at the end of the day? This whole fucking thing is just a massive Ponzi scheme. He's absolutely right. But he doesn't understand what the solution is because he's never been told. Glenn hasn't. He's never been told about what blockchain is, what its power is, what are these several different companies that are inside this blockchain network in order to revolutionize international finance and the way we conduct our trade throughout the entire world. And why we are at the dawning of a brand new age. But this one's got to come down first, and you got to bring the normies up to speed on all of it. And why we have such just an amazing opportunity here with Ripple, with being able to settle 3 to 5 seconds over a distributed ledger, with this gumball machine and all the assets inside the gumball machine are the gumballs. So that's going to be tokenized gold, tokenized mortgages, tokenized everything, including all of the stable coins that are going to have to post reserves, so we know what is in circulation and what should be in circulation.
You ever see the movie or the stage show Mel Brooks, The Producers? Why did they get into trouble? Because they were selling over 100% of the play. They kept selling the play. You get 100%, you get 100%, you get 100%, all thinking that it's not, that particular show wouldn't make any money. It won't be a success. It's the worst play ever. So it will close, and nobody's going to audit and say, wait a minute, you sold 100%. Nobody's going to ask. They just want to get away from it. They lost their money. It closed. But if it's a success, they now have to pay 100% of the proceeds to 14 different people. It's a scam. That's what's happened here. They have sold 100% of your house, or in this case, the gold, to several different people. When everybody says, I'm in trouble, I want my money back, I need my gold. Trouble.
And what do we know about the banks? They are $500 billion in unrealized losses. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul just the same as the way we are. Okay, that's why credit card debt is at levels unseen. Car delinquencies are at level unseen. So is delinquencies on mortgage payments. Every single economic factor is lined up for the greatest rug pull collapse we have ever fucking seen. But you need to have a plan ready to go in order to transition right out of it. And we see this being built now. We see it being built. It's already built. It's already built. Unit of account, method of payment, means of exchange. You need all three. And this fourth factor is the tokenization of the assets. Because of all of this Ponzi scheming going on by the banks, by everybody else.
Trouble.
No, I mean, it just seems like the type of thing that it's almost impossible to unwind, right? If it's that deep, how do you unwind it? Or do you just protect yourself and your family? And
for you make sure that if your house is paid for, if you have anything paid for, you have the title. You know where the title is. You have the title. Okay.
Even that doesn't protect you if it's not tokenized, because there's still scammers out there. Okay, so let's say you have your loan paid off and you have the title, then you're fine, I would guess. But if you don't, that's why something like LifeLock exists. But you wouldn't need that service if the bank offered it to be tokenized and everybody just checks the tape. of checks the blockchain and say, okay, well, it's yours and not, John Smith scammer, right? Same way for all the gold, for everything else. It's why I keep saying to everybody, we're at the 11th chime of midnight. We were at 10 a month or two ago when I made that video. Now we're at 11. And these are the signs. These are the signs that tell you that it is fucking nigh. All the narratives are there. All the things are built. It's just now the disclosure effort. Now it's the takedown of the Fed. And we're going to be seeing it in the next coming weeks when the Doge Boys knocks on that fucking door and Jerome Powell just says, no, you can't come in because we're a private institution. We're not even part of the government. Everybody's going to be fucking pissed. They're going to be super pissed. They'll be like, wait a minute, these assholes are in charge of this whole thing? The normies. And then it's going to be crisis, pull the curtain back on all the fraud, and it's going to be in the trillions when it comes to the Fed. In the trillions. Tens of trillions that they have squandered of American wealth. That's your life, by the way. That's your life, your family's life for generations now. For absolute generations. Been stolen from. Think of where you would be right now had that not have occurred. Get pissed about that. Get fucking loud. Get loud.